Good evening and welcome to Follow We Will Legends podcast. It's Tuesday evening with myself, Lynsey Glenn and Stan Gordon, featuring the greatest ever Rangers legends as our special guests, Rangers supporters clubs and bars from all around the world. Introducing our fantastic associate sponsors of the show, and the show wouldn't be possible without them. We have Ernock Builders, Country Carpets, Hepburn Electrics, Millencroft Construction, First Class Memorabilia, Pollock Projects, The Gallant Pioneer in Blackpool, Staunch Threads, The Kit Centre, Gart Craig Inn and Miss D's. Check out their social media pages and websites too. Remember, if you are on social media, give us a like on YouTube and subscribe to our show. And if you're on any of our other social media platforms, remember to like, comment and share. Tonight, we give a very warm welcome to two guests joining us this evening. We have ex-Ranger star Bob Malcolm, and we also have ERSA Vice President Mr. Ricki Neill entertaining us this evening. How are you doing, guys?
Good, thanks.
Great to have you on the show. Remember, folks, as well, to get your questions in tonight, and we will probably get Bob to pick the winner of the wee competition that we've got here. Stan's got it on show right now.
Lovely badge here. 150 years. I think it's magnetic.
It's magnetic.
Yes, and that'll be
lovely badge.
Bob can pick a good question on the night, and the winner will get that. Okay.
Over to you, Stan.
Yes. Well, Bob, welcome to the show. We interviewed Stephen Smith 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about him going through the youth system, the same as yourself, and we kind of discussed a wee bit there about the way you come through the youth system and the way it is now. Well, you're involved in coaching yourself at this present time, but how different was it when you were younger, coming through with guys like Bomber and guys like
Oh, it was totally different back then. To be fair, I still wish it was like that just now. It was like a job to you, wasn't it? Just turn up for training and you're away back to your parents' house or whatever. It's you turn up at 8 o'clock and you're there until 5, 6 at night. Bomber maybe keep you till late, just depending what mood he was in. But Bomber was different class, and a lot of people didn't like him the way he acted. But I thought it was class. I don't know what Stevie Smith's opinion on him was, but
no, he was the very same, and they said the same as you. He said they wouldn't change nothing. He said it was a great way to come through the system because you learnt a lot, and even the way they done things now. I know that can't happen anymore, but keeping you back after training and you're cleaning boots and all that. But they're a wee bit spoilt now, the younger ones coming through, aren't they, where it was?
Oh, 100%. But back then it was discipline. It showed you a level of discipline. You didn't get let away with things. If you done something wrong, you get punished for it.
I think it happened to you a few times. Did you know?
Oh, it did. More than a few times. But I say that's what it's all about, wasn't it? Just me. There was better players than me that got punished for doing things, and you just get on with it. That was what it was like back in the day. Nowadays, you get parents coming to see you, and if you shout at their kid, they're wanting to get a meeting with you and stuff like that. So the game's totally changed, but. There's nothing else you can do about that.
Even at the younger level again, I watched, you've been there yourself, Charlie Miller's Academy and all that. To take the kind of kids at that age through, you need the patience of a saint, honestly.
My son used to go to Charlie's Academy, and I used to go to watch him on a Friday night, and I honestly don't know how he does it.
No,
at that age, he was only 4 at that age, at that time, sorry, and it was just basically kids running a riot.
No, I know. And my grandson's going through the now, and he's playing with Scotland now. And at the games, it's great, but at the training and that, even with the parents, they're taking it serious, really, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I could only imagine yourself. What age when you went to Rangers?
10. Started at 10.
Right through. Did you get through with Stevie?
It was different. No, Stevie's I think he's a year or 2 years younger than me.
Who was there at the time you went through then, boys?
Peter McDonald.
He's all right.
Griggsy was a year younger. Big Mark Brown. Stephen McAdam. A lot of actual players that made it. Billy Gibson, Jimmy Gibson. There was a lot came through. Big Stoney, Michael Stone. So there was a few that came through and made it into the first team and made a decent career at it.
I remember the two boy Gibsons here. I don't know if you ever seen him, Ricki, playing.
No, I don't.
They were very injury prone, weren't they? Two of them were good players, but they were injured quite a lot. I remember Bomber telling us way back at the time when he was looking after him. He was finding it hard to get a contract again for him because it was maybe seasons were out with different injuries. I think they ended up with Clyde and that. They went to after that, didn't they?
Partick Thistle. To be fair, Jimmy Gibson was very good. He had a bad groin injury.
Aye.
He was young and that set him back a couple of years, but he got himself back and played in the first team as well. So
I can mind the two of them coming on and getting a wee run out.
Bob, 2004 Old Firm game, you were escorted from the bench by 2 policemen, but were then back on the bench. What actually happened?
what actually happened was during the game, the ball. I was sitting on the bench and it was big Gary McKenzie. So it was his first time, and I think he was in a few squads, but he was sitting on the bench and the ball trickled off the pitch, but it's coming towards the dugout. And Neill Lennons came off to get it, but he's kidded on he was going to kick into the bench, and Big Gaz's, like a big woman, jumped out the way. So we were all pissing ourselves laughing, and it was our throw-in, so we took the throw-in, and Nacho put it through and somebody scored. So I've jumped off the bench and I've started gaining pelters. And the police thought I was doing it to the Celtic fans, so they said I was trying to incite a riot, but it was just me having a go back at Lennon for what he'd done to us.
Well, I wish somebody would do that now, right enough. But Big Alec McLeish became your manager, Big Red. How good was it working with him? Did you find it good working under the big one?
Aye, well, it was good that he came in because under Dick I was getting shown the door because I played in a charity 6-a-side or 5-a-side tournament at that pre-season. So I think Dick was trying to put me to the side. Obviously it didn't work out for him that season, so Alec came in and I played the last 7-8 games under him. Offered me a new contract and then kicked on for there.
Because he didn't have a lot of money to spend either, Big Alec, when he came in compared to what Dick Advocate had, did he?
I don't think he really needed money, to be honest. They had the squad there. They just never performed under Dick that last season. It was there. Still had the Boer, Avaladze. He brought in Arteta. So he had Fergie was still there, Craig Moore. So still had the nucleus of a brilliant squad.
Aye.
He brought in a few freebies as well.
Because a lot of people, when you look at these seasons, I mean, the Big Alec won the treble, and you look at the money, as you say, that the Advocate, some of them spent there. Did you like Big McLeish?
I thought he was brilliant, and I've met him a few times.
Aye, I have myself.
Mind he was on our last podcast, and I think he's a few glasses of wines while he was doing it as well, but it was brilliant. And it's funny because the next week he actually sent me a text saying, "How's Rangers not playing today, Ricki?" And I was like, I can't believe I've just got a text off of Big McLeish.
Aye, some man.
I took him to Blackpool and he was brilliant, and we were staying in the Mornington.
That was the very first event that I done. It was McLeish and McCall.
So it was. With Stuart.
Aye, when they stayed in the Mornington.
That's right. And we done the gig, and he got talking to the guy in the Mornington behind the bar, and he was a big Aston Villa.
That's right, and they got their photos and all that.
And he sent even to him. He sent him a framed tap and all that kind of stuff.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Aye, no, he did. Aye, he did.
I like sleeping outside the Mornington, didn't I?
Aye, so
In the bench.
It's another story, but
I'll leave that for another podcast. Bob, you were involved in one of your club's greatest moments, Helicopter Sunday. How surreal was that day for you?
For me, it was unbelievable. I think going to the game, we weren't expecting anything. We went, normally we'd go with our club suits on, we went with track suits. I don't even think we stayed overnight. Normally we'd stay overnight the night before the game. I don't think we did that. I think we travelled through in the morning, got something to eat, and then went to the game. And going out for the warm-up, we just knew that we had to win just to give ourselves a chance. And then obviously we scored a goal, but then after that the both teams stopped playing because we knew that was enough. But Hibs knew that if they kept it at that, then they were qualifying for Europe. So it was like, you have the ball, we'll have it, you have it, and nobody really creating any chances. And then sitting in the dugout, big Billy Thompson and Davy, the masseur at Ibrox at the time, I think he's still there.
Davy Lavery.
Dave Lavery, aye. They were sitting behind the dugout, big Tomo Chapton, he's one of that. So one each with Celtic, and they're like, aye, fuck off. He's like, no, seriously. And then the next minute the crowd erupted. So Jesus Christ.
What did that feel like, actually? What did that feel like for
It was
yous?
weird because I thought it was a wind-up, so I was like...
Well, I know how it felt as a fan, but I'm wondering how it felt, you know, for like you, do you know what I mean? Like, actually being involved.
That just made the game even worse because it just meant...
I mean, you could see all the players, couldn't you, on the pitch all going like this and looking about.
They were
And
trying to find out what the fans were cheering for, what's happening and stuff like that, and then... But that still wasn't enough for us, I don't think, at that point, was it? I think
Aye, no, there was enough. Aye.
And but then obviously Big Tom would tap the dugout again and said it's 2-1 to Motherwell. And you're like, aye. So then everybody's like, and the gaffer's like, shut up, Tom, I don't want to know. And the next minute, they bind the stand, bind the goal, erupted again. So you're like, what the fuck's happening here? It's 2-1. And then the next minute, Fergie and Alec Ray are jumping and tap each other on the pitch. The game wasn't even finished yet. And it was mental. But as I say, it was surreal. And then obviously, as soon as the final whistle, I think all the players started thinking, we've not got anything, we've not got any t-shirts, we've got our tracksuits, so what are we going to do? So I think we went back into the changing room, and I think there's a video going about Big Dad singing in that.
Oh, brilliant. I've got a bit of to ask you about that.
That's right.
But we had to ask Hibs for some beers, we didn't have anything. Jimmy had a box of champagne and some t-shirts that he never told us about, he just brought it just in case. So that's why we had the t-shirts, and Big Marf had these famous Keep Believing t-shirt.
Aye.
I think
Brilliant.
I've said this on here before, right? But I remember Fernando telling us that if he was captain that day, I don't know what happened there, that Fergie wasn't the captain.
But that's when Fergie came back, wasn't it?
Was it?
Fergie went away and came back.
And Fernando was the captain that day. And when the helicopter came back and went into the dressing room at Easter Road, he'd went in first because he was the captain, and they had green and white ribbons on the cup, and they had to change it. And I don't know who's got them now, but he said that he kept the ribbons just because it just shows you how quick things change. They didn't even get a chance to do that. He came in there and I was like, what's that? There were green and white ribbons on it.
Aye. Oh, that's crazy. I'm having goosebumps just thinking about it, but I mind at the time, I was watching it at my brother-in-law's house at the time, and I drove home about 5 minutes ago and I total huff, you know, and then the next minute he's phoning me, he's like, it's 1 each, it's 2-1, and I'm like, I'm coming back. And I mind I had my wee boy in the back of the car with me, and I said to my sister, you need to watch him, I'm going to Ibrox, right? And my wife at the time, she was raging because I left him with no nappies, none. I was like, going up to Tesco and get some nappies for him.
we actually went back to Ibrox after the game. Aye. And there was nobody there.
Aye.
There was no staff, nothing. We had to phone security guards and get them to open the Thornton suite.
Is that right?
God.
So there was still beers and that in the fridge, so we managed to get a beer, and I think the chairman gave the champagne and stuff, but there was no food, nothing organised, because we didn't think we were winning it.
My memory about it was I was in the pub I own in New, right? But obviously I didn't have it at the time. I was going to Loyal Rigs the next day, and I came down to the pub and I was nursing a pint through the game, and I was getting the 7 o'clock train up to Aberdeen and flying offshore the next morning, and when the result came through, I never made it. I never made the phone in. There was no chance I was getting back up that night. Danger.
When I was younger, believe it or not, I wasn't that big a drinker or anything, right? So I was sitting watching it in our social club, and I hadn't had a drink the whole game, and then see when that goal went in, like when we knew that like Motherwell had scored the 2-1, I just went and got like a double vodka, and that was me. I was out the rest of the day, and I remember it so well. Like I was shaking and all that. It was the place just erupted. I think everywhere that anybody that was watching it, they've got their own memory what that felt like for them. It was just it was unbelievable. It was a brilliant experience.
How long did the party last for them? You went back to Ibrox.
That was the thing. Normally you'd have your club suit on, so you could go into like Glasgow and go wherever, like casino or whatever. But we had our tracksuits on. So we were phoning everybody where we're going to go, and luckily we knew a wee boy that kind of ran Tiger it was back then.
I remember that. Aye.
So he's like, look, don't worry what you're wearing, just get your asses down. So we went there and they shut the place. So everybody's families and that were in, and basically I think Big Stephen Thompson wrecked the place right enough. But no, it was a good night, and I think it carried on for days after that.
Oh, no, definitely. One of the guys we mentioned there who was captain at the twos were Pallaway was Fernando. How was he on and off the park, Bob?
On the park, it was different class. I think he had a tough time out when he came the first 6 months. And I think Dick never helped him when he took him off that game at Parkhead.
No.
After like 20 minutes or something, but it showed you his character coming back.
He got stronger, but didn't he, with that and all, to come back, a lot of people would have just folded, then that would have been a lot of guys' career out at Rangers.
He was a strong character, but when he...
Aye. or the Dutch, they've got a belief in themselves that they're better than everybody else, so they were all like that. But with Fernando, he took a bit of a beating at the first 6 months, but he was still young. He was young, and the players that he was trying to get in front of at that time, Alberts, two-guy, Claudio Reyna. He couldn't get a game right back for Claudio Reyna. Was that good?
No, no.
And that wasn't even his position. Fergie, obviously. But when he kicked on, he was different class.
Were you there when he flung the one of the Rangers directors on the swimming pool?
That was.
Did you ever hear that one?
No, I never heard that one, Stan.
Was it John Cleland, wasn't it?
John McClellan.
John McClelland, aye.
Yeah, it was when David Murray had stepped down and John McClellan stepped in for him. It must have been Athens we were on, Champions League game against Panathinaikos. So we flew 2 days before the game, and we were sitting with, underneath it was like one of these big Greek hotels, so it was all marble and all that. And because we were there a day early, the gaffer says, right, you can go out a walk and go for a swim or whatever. So all the boys are doing, having a laugh and a joke, and the chairman comes in, him and Martin Bain with the full club suit on. And Fernando's like, I'm going to throw him in the pool.
Oh, I did not.
And we're like, aye, right. We're like, I'm going to take it in your shake bag. So
no.
2 minutes, he walks up and goes, chairman, how you doing? Speaks to all them and then goes behind him and pushes him in.
Oh,
but the chairman's can't swim. He's fucking
he's
trying to get up for a breath, but you can see his arms dangling out the water. He had like $100,000 watch on. It wasn't worth it. He got the watch and he's like, Fernando, you're getting fined to the price of my watch in case he broke it.
He would do things like that, but I mind, I don't know if I tell the story on here before, right? I took him to Belfast and it was Victor Morgan that was going to Belfast Ways. And so the twos were travelling there, and Fernando didn't want to fly. He wanted to get the ferry because of his illness and all that kind of stuff. It was better going on the ferry. So I got up in the morning, Trish went out to her work, it was a Friday, and I'm getting ready, and then obviously he's not turning up. He's like that, when he was always late for everything. So I'm pacing up down the living room and I phoned Trish at work and I says, look, I said, he's not turned up yet. I said, we'll need to move. I said, because we're in Sandy Row tonight. I said, and then there's somebody else in more. I said, but we can't get earlier and then we can't go to Sandy Row and the guys have all bought the tickets. Calm down over there. I said, no, it's not. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get up there. So about another half hour later, he pulls up and I jumps in the motor and Victor's driving and I'm there and Fernando's in the back. So I starts bawling and shouting at Victor and I'm saying, listen, we're going to, I said, it's not me, it's him. So I looks at him and I'm saying, what's happening with you? And he goes, don't worry about it. He says, my face will get us on the ferry. So I'm saying, your fucking face will get you on the ferry if it's not there. So we drive up and you know what it's like, that road to Stranraer. It's terrible.
Oh,
and then the next thing we're caught, I think, buses and then there's a tractor and I said, oh, that's it, we've had it. And just luckily when we got up there, and just we approached it at the ferry terminal, the sea had been choppy and they had delayed the flight for a couple of hours. So we made it and I said, oh, thank God.
The sailing stand.
The sailing. I saw the
when the boats fly.
So we went down, we drove down and Victor rolled the window down and he hands the tickets, sir, and the guy gets the tickets and he looks and he goes, is that Fernando Rickson there? Is that Fernando? And Fernando goes, yeah, like that, no. So he went away, he goes, hold on the nurse, he's on the walkie-talkie. So he comes back, he says, right, listen, don't go into any of the motors or any of the buses. You're right in the front, you drive right down and you'll be the first car on. And he just looked at me and he went, Stan.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But he was when he was a character. I mean, even when we done his game, and I think the game was a Sunday, wasn't it?
I think it was a Sunday.
Aye, and we done a big dinner in the Thornton Suite on the Saturday night. So Alec McLeish was the manager of one team, and Graham Roberts was the manager of the European Select. Myself at the top table, the comedian, and Fernando sitting right next to me. So Bob and all the players were all invited in, so they're all sitting at the first two tables, and then all the guests are all there. And I'm slagging with Charlie Miller, and then somebody else has got a shot at slagging him, and then the comedian gets up, and Fernando says, right, I want Charlie to play tomorrow. I said, I thought it was all guys that played with you. I said, Charlie, no, he's funny. I want Charlie to play tomorrow, so we'll get Charlie and he'll play tomorrow. So the next day when the game's on, I walk into the dressing room and Big McLeish says, listen, we've got too many players, Stan, how's the European side? I said, well, I think you're 2 or 3 short. He says, right, you want to put a couple of players to go and play in there? And Charlie came over, Charlie came in his boots. I said, no, you're in the way dressing room.
Oh, God, love him.
He'd done.
Oh, God.
And then he comes on the park, lobs a goalie, didn't he, in the first goal?
Did he?
Some player, isn't he? Still.
Oh,
Bob, you also obviously played with a lot of other big players as well at the club, like Nacho Novo, Big Dado. Who taught Dado to sing Follow, Follow?
Do you know that was Dado actually? I don't know how he knew it, but we went to, I think it was either Austria or Germany. It was Dado's first trip. He'd just come back for the World Cup, and obviously had signed, but he came back maybe 2 weeks after everybody else, and we were flying out the next day. He came to, I'm sure it was Germany, or I think it was Germany, but it was like up in the hills. It was neighbour.
In the middle. Aye.
And the gaffer says, right, after training night we'll go out and we'll all sit and have a meal and that. And but it was just like a wee pub thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was like snacks and stuff. And he just, for his song, like all the new ones that they got him sing, that was his song that he got him sang. So he must have been listening to it somewhere.
Just listening to it, and he just started singing
just
it.
must have went away after he's in back and learned the song himself. But once he started singing, he would never shut up.
I mean, the video, you see him, I think it was maybe the Helicopter Sunday, it's brilliant. And then I can mind some of the boys saying that he was shouting on the bus and all that. This is a family club, and how good Rangers. I think he took Rangers to his heart, didn't he?
He did, I think most foreigners that come bought into everything that the club was all about. You see, that's why Arthur Newman, Mikey Moles, George Albert's all come back all the time.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
That's why they took the club to their heart, and it's as most of them did.
Ronald de Boer was in the suites on Sunday there, and he said the same. He says, as soon as you go to Rangers, you're a Rangers fan. And I didn't know. He said he had the choice to go to Man United or Rangers when Rangers signed him, and it was Van Gaal. Spoke to him about it, and he said, oh, it's a no-brainer, go to Glasgow Rangers. I mean, see, I know with Ronald de Boer, you'll know better than us, but he only had one leg because his knee was away. And what a fantastic player he was for us still.
Well, a lot, when you do these things or you do question answer things, a lot of people ask me who was the best player you've played with, and he was definitely the one best for me. And as you mentioned, his knee, he couldn't bend his knee properly. And for him to play like that at the top level for maybe 5 or 6 years after he got the knee operation was incredible.
A bit like Big Marvin.
Aye, but Marvin's Marvin. He just, I don't know how to explain Marvin, but
He's still waiting in the up.
He's still waiting, aye.
But that's just that Marvin's story's crazy. But
oh, isn't it half, innit?
For the Boer's totally different. He's a creative player that has to be on the move all the time, and for him still to be able to do that.
Aye. Well, you look at me, Durant. Durant was the same, and he's went through a big operation last Friday there on his knee again, and a lot of people don't realise that the pain that he's had all the years. I hope this clears it up for him now, but I've been out playing golf with him, you have yourself, and he struggles, really does, and even standing at the bar when we're in and like that, he's really been in a lot of pain with it, so I hope that's clears
You need
it
to
up.
tell him we're all asking for him as well when you're speaking to him.
Yeah.
Just, my father-in-law's actually put up William Glenn. Tell Big Stan to enjoy Braga. There you go.
I'm not going.
Are you not going?
Can he?
No,
No, I can't go, William. No, I'm
He's not going, Billy.
I'm going to Belfast at 9 o'clock.
Aye, because you were going to try and work your
on
way
Friday
around
morning.
it, weren't you?
But for some reason, in Portugal, they know they're not allowing any flights to leave after 11 o'clock at night in Portugal. So even if I was going to go, I was going to try and days go and fly home after the game. And it would have been a bit of rush here, about 2 in the
too
morning
much.
or something, and then I'd have been up again at 7 to get away. But that's not even going to happen, so...
And my wee sister's commented and all, Joanne, watching from Stranraer. She's still down there with the kids, so she's enjoying her holidays and watching the podcast with Stranraer. Hi, Joanne.
But no, we've got another player here I want to ask you about, because I spoke to Stephen Smith a couple of weeks ago about him, about how much a professional he is, and I know you're best pals with him. I didn't think he particularly had a great game on Sunday, but we'll speak about that later. It was Al McGregor, but he's some professional, as you know, at his age to be still doing what he's doing.
He is now, but he never used to be.
No.
He's one of the thickest guys I've ever met in my life.
Did he just say that?
He is. If you know him, if you've met him, you'll know. You've probably seen videos of him kicking about. He's thick, but no, for a young age, I think he came through the Bomber school as well. Installed with hard work. He used to go away. He got injured, a bad injury when he was younger as well, and fought his way back. And he bided his time, and as soon as he's come into the first team, he's not looked back.
But he's been a true pro, and he still to be playing at his age. And
100%.
I think, but personally, there are mistakes in him now, which wasn't before, and I think it's noticeable because of how good he has been before. Mm-hmm. But if you look at that, the European game there in Red Star, he had some absolutely outstanding saves.
Yeah, but that's never been in question. His shot storm's never been in question. People have always said about he's coming for crosses and that. He's never came for crosses, so why is people expecting to do it now? It's never been, and that's never been his game. So,
and the goalie never have come out for crosses either. No. But one of the things that the goalie says in his defence is he had John Brown there and he had Richard Gough, guys like that that's going to win. We've not got guys like that now that's kind of doing that, you know.
No, well, you see, I seen it on social media yesterday. I think it was people were blaming him for the second. Was it the second goal?
First goal when he didn't save it.
No, he saved the first one.
And then the second one.
The second one was a cross.
Right, aye.
But for me, I think the centre half's got to do better.
Aye.
He basically set it up for the Celtic player, didn't he? He set it up for him. He did it straight in.
That's
opinions
in it. It's everybody's opinion. The big man seems to be getting a bit of stick. But
do you think he should get another year?
Me personally, just alone for his commitment that he's gave the club over the years.
Aye.
And I still think that he's better than what's there.
Aye. And he is a true Rangers guy, and he loves the club, didn't he? Aye. Well, he's been down south and all that, but I think that his heart's here because the amount of time that he spent at the club and through and then coming back. And
you've got to remember as well, he took some stick when the club were in the shit, and he got blamed for what to leave or take money or whatever, which was a load of shit. But over that period, he took stick, and then he got it when he came back.
He did,
and he put his head down and walked through it, and then he turned everybody's heads. But the last couple of weeks, he's took stick again. But that's what he's all about. He'll take it in the chin and get on with it.
And I know for a fact that when we won 55 there. When they went back to Ibrox, the first thing he done was he texted Bomber to say thanks for giving another chance and speaking to the management to bring him back because Bomber was scouting with Rangers and he said, look, he's still got it, bring him back here. He's worth 15, 20 points a season, days, and it's proved that way, innit?
Did that season, without him, you see some of the saves that he made in the Neill Firm games.
I know. Unbelievable.
Him alone kept us in some of the games. So
even my run, if you look back at my run in the UEFA Cup the last time when we went to the final, Bremen comes to mind, and they battered us, and they put them round the post or the crossbar, and some of these saves were unbelievable, you know. And I think he will get down. I know we asked on here on the show a couple of months ago there, who would you go, the goalie or Al McGregor, and it's a hard one.
It is hard. I just don't want I would rather he went out on a high though as well. What you don't want is him being so great and doing so great for us. Do you know what I mean? And then maybe slit him up as time goes on and then getting a hard time again and then he leaves getting stick. You want him to leave. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, I just think this season, I think he's still an amazing keeper, and I think there's only maybe been 2 games this season, and I think it's just because you're a goalkeeper, it really stands right out.
Aye.
No, but I mean, when you look at the amount of games he saved us, it's definitely
outweighs
the maybe 2
mistakes.
Mistakes,
not games, just mistakes.
There's somebody there, by McSkimmon said there on McGregor, does Bob think that he was at fault for both goals? But see, if you looked at the second half, he had a fantastic save for them to go 3-1 up.
Aye.
I don't think he was at fault for any of the goals, because the first one was a deflection that he actually saved and then knocked it back into the path of the Rogic. And the second one, I think the defender's got to do better.
Aye.
I think if he goes and wins his header, then there's not an issue. But I get why people are saying that he should have came for the cross, but I think he's running into 10 players, so he can come and miss it, and it's an easy tap in for somebody. But
I've got another one there, Bob. It's who do you think's Rangers Player of the Year this season?
This season,
Mark Gray.
This season, to be fair, recently I'd have said Aribo about
I agree with you.
before Christmas. I'd have said Aribo, but he's not been great recently. And I think the Big Bassie's been different class the last few months.
I like Bassey.
Morelos is always going to be up there, isn't he? He's a goal scorer.
Oh, he's out for the rest of the season now, isn't he?
Aye, that's him, innit? He's out now. Aye, it's been announced today, innit?
I agree with you, maybe there with Bassey. But Aribo at the
Even
start of the season was
Lundstrom's
flying.
showed his game
Oh, he's come on
recently.
there.
Aye.
He's no started the season.
No, but I know.
But it's hard for these boys to come in.
Bassey's a young guy and all, isn't he? What age is he? Like,
He's only 21, 22. I think.
aye, is he not younger than that? I thought he was younger than that.
There's one there, Bob. After watching the Legends game last week and seeing some of the great players, Figo, Kaka, Hadji, etc., who's the best player you have played against?
Played against. I don't want to say any of them. But, probably Adriano into Milan.
Aye.
Adriano, and I can't remember the boy's name. The wee boy who played in the middle of the park played for Argentina. I think he's got like 130 caps or something. He played that night as well. He was different class.
What was the score in that game?
One each.
One each.
It was one each at Ibrox. I think it was one each or nothing each away. That was the time there was no fans allowed in.
And he's been
Champions
through.
League, aye.
Aye. I mind the last time they played Inter Milan before that. What was the boy meant to get called the Silver Feather? He was up front. Ravanelli, and then they had.
That was Juventus.
Was that Juventus? And who was the winger again? He was brilliant.
Del Piero.
I remember Bomber telling us that he was finishing his career off at the time, Bomber, and him and Ian Durant get told to go out and warm up at the sideline. So the two of them were warming up, and V Durant said to Bomber, "Listen, we're getting beat 4-1 here this season. I know you're doing all your coaching badges, you know." He said, "What would you do to change this game at 4-1? What would you do?" He said, "Well, the first thing I would do, I wouldn't bring any of us two on." And he went, "How no?" He says, "Because this isn't your fucking fault tonight."
Right, Bob, I'm going to move on, right? So, after a wee spell at Derby County in Motherwell, you up sticks and you move to Australia, which, by the way, I didn't know that, right? You meet up with Charlie Miller and Craig Moore. How did you enjoy?
That was the worst mistake in my life.
Oh, was it? Well, that was what I could only imagine having to live beside Charlie.
No, I lived with Craig. I lived
you?
in Craig's house. Obviously, I was pally with Craig before we'd all went our separate ways, and it was him that the deal that Charlie done the year before was actually for me.
Right.
But I kind of shut myself to go, so Charlie went, and then I had enough at Motherwell. I was playing and I wasn't playing, and no arguing with Mark McGee, but it was we weren't like getting on great the way we should have been.
Mm-hmm.
So the opportunity came again, and I went, well, I'll come and I'll try it. I'll come for a month to see what it's like. So I basically used that as my holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Went, and the first day that I got there, I had to wake up at 6 in the morning to go swimming with the team and stuff. I'm like, fucking hell, see me out with my holiday. So we get there, and then that was like, must have been like a Thursday or a Friday, and the gaffer says, "Look, we've got a game up," and can't remember the name. It was like 2-hour flight up the top of Australia. It was Fergie's team, but it wasn't where they were based. It was another wee place, and he's like, "I want you to come up and play." I went, "Fuck it, I'm just here, gaffer. They've got the missus in that ways, and she's no happy." And fucking, he's like, "Well, you need to come and play in the team and get to know the boys and that." So when him, we need to go for 2 days to this place, play this game. Go out there, and it was mental. Played the game, and after it was like a free for all. You can go and do what you want. So all the boys were in the pub steaming. That was the first time I'd seen Ian Ferguson have a drink.
They must have to drink even earlier.
Ah, right.
That's what I was like, "What you doing, Fergie?" And he's like, "Started hitting a drink out here." And so, but it was crazy because where Craig lived, right across the road, Charlie lived. So in the same street, basically facing each other. And so after after that game, we were up there. The manager said to me, "Right, we want to offer you a contract." So I basically agreed that time I was going to stay for a year at least. And that was it.
Was that a good year?
It started off good, and then the manager Frank Farina, who's one of the top Australian managers, I think he coached in France and that. Wasn't really a coach, to be honest. He was more of a manager at Walter. Never took nothing to do with the training and just came out and done his bit and then took a back step. But every player had respect for him. Then they worked their hardest for him, and then he got caught. He was out the night before and was travelling to training and got caught with the police, drink driving. So it's weird over there. Some of the clubs are owned by the FFA, and our club was one of them, and they seen that as a wrongdoing, so they sacked him.
Oh God!
And
Right.
that's when Ange came in.
Oh, that's right, the Celtic manager.
And that's when the shit hit the fan.
Oh, did he really? Right.
But up until that point...
So did he end up your manager? Did he?
For about 3 weeks. He got ready, so...
Right.
He must have knew where he was going.
Stan, there is a couple of questions there. So there is. Can't really see them.
Angus Stewart Mackay. Question for Bob. Who would start up front on Thursday? Personally, thought Roof was poor on Sunday.
To be honest, I didn't think Roof should have played on Sunday there. I thought Sakala should have played up front, only for the fact his pace. Celtic came out the traps and they go for you straight away, and I think that was an out for us to get him in amongst their back two and using his pace to get us up the pitch.
I think games like that and all, Roof isn't the type of player like Morelos that can hold the ball up.
Yeah, but that was what was causing his problems in the end. He kept on coming to the ball and we weren't taking them long.
Aye.
But I don't know. I think Sakala was signed as a striker, but doesn't really seem to play there. He seems to always play in the wing. So
through the middle, because I don't rate the big the boy Vickers isn't too bad, but I don't rate the other one, Starfelt or whatever. I don't rate him. I mean, never put enough pressure on him because he was making mistakes all the time when we did get in near him.
But we did need to put pressure on him, didn't we? We should
I
have.
think the first 15 minutes they did put pressure on him. We kept the ball in the park, but then
Nobody was getting near him. Aye.
We still kept doing what we were doing.
There's one for Bim at Skimmer again. Does Bob think Rangers need Ramsey apart from the goal on Sunday? Didn't know he was on the park. Oh, I disagree with Bim there. I actually thought Ramsey was controlling the game.
I'm surprised they took him off.
Aye.
I mean, I thought he was one of the better players in the first half.
Well, I spoke to Big Craig Moore after the game. He was in one of the boxes and he says to me that I says to him, what did you think? Also, you're at the game, you're seeing it high up. And he agreed with me. I thought he should have stayed on the pitch as well. I thought he was the only goal threat that we had. He kept every attack, he was in the box. So the first one failed when he scored from it. Then he had a couple of chances he was offside. But alright, it might not have been dictating the game for us, but he was getting in the box and he was creating chances.
No.
I think we had 42 crosses or something into our box. Apparently the stats came up on BBC. My son showed me that, and it was like all the red and the yellow, like dot, like you can see it all. Right. And apparently he said there was like 42 crosses we'd put in and not get one goal out of it.
No, and I've seen one there that we came back to what we were saying before. Andrew Evans seen there, defending starts from the front. Mm-hmm. So the other 10 are no doing their job. We wouldn't be speaking about the keeper.
Yeah,
that's true. I think we always look suspect at the back for the turn of the year there. Rangers. I think we've looked.
Can I be honest with you? I don't think we played that bad. I don't. I thought we were actually all right. I just don't think that we had it when we got down. Do you know what I mean? We just didn't have the final getting in, just, getting the goals. We were getting chances, but we just weren't taking them.
Yeah.
That's when you need if you've not got a Morelos, you need somebody that can step in and do it.
Aye, we definitely missed him.
Aye.
We definitely did miss him.
I think we'll struggle this season without him now.
Do you think he'll still be here next season? But
I think he's settled now.
Aye.
I think he's settled, and I think that by listening to it, a lot of people are saying that the boy Mackay for Holland that's come out, he was a striker. I think he's learnt a lot off of him because he's changed for Gio come back.
Gio can speak to him in Spanish and all, so it's...
Is that right?
Aye.
But I think he's been told to stay up front now. And under Gerrard, he was coming short and looking for runners going behind. But I think when he's up top and he's playing in between the centre.
But he's been bringing other things to the game, hasn't he? He's not just been up front in the box. He's been going to the side and that and all, and passing crosses into the likes of Kent. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not been selfish with the ball.
I think he was doing that too much, going looking for the ball before Gio came. And Gio said to him, get in the box and get shots away and get goals. Because a lot of the time he was holding the ball up and then there's nobody going forward for him. He's not there.
Yeah.
I think that's a typical thing for players now, though. They want to do everything. Back in the day with Bombers would have just said to striker,
stay where you are.
Play in between the box.
Aye, and don't leave it. Get us a goal.
Doesn't want them running the right and the left wing. Just stay in between the goals. And the crosses come in there. And that's how Coyster and Boyd scored other goals. They never done any running.
I know they didn't.
Stood in the middle and
that was it.
They got a goal.
And there, you've got one there, Bob. You must know the guy probably. Ask Bob who's the best big drummer he's seen.
It's no Stan anyway. Must just be trying to give my dad a mention, are you?
Who's that? Thomas Motion? What's he saying? Roof and Takala aren't Rangers class. Time to offload them and get a decent striker along with Morelos.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
I don't think Sakala's not had a chance to play up front.
No, he hasn't.
Roof when he was fit, he was firing goals in.
He did score some belters for us.
And then he's been back now, but they're not as good as Morelos. That's a fact. But I think people are saying things because of the situation we're in at the minute. If we were top of the league and flying in it, this wouldn't be a problem.
I know.
It's just unfortunate. This is the situation we're
in. You end up at my favourite place in 2014, Blackpool. But I remember watching the telly one. I think it was a Friday night game. Yourself and Barry. Barry was the manager, and you had Stephen Dobie by the throat.
This is the hard one for me because Dobbs came up through Rangers at the same time as us as well. Dobbs was a year younger than me, but obviously at that time it was under 16s to under 18s, so we all played in the same team. And what happened was Fergie was playing.
He was playing manager, wasn't he?
He played 2 games. Played against Leeds and he played against Burnley, and that was the Burnley game. And I think that game Burnley basically had to win or draw, and they were winning the league. So he played, but obviously he's playing and everybody's shouting. And the chairman at that time, the Blackpool chairman, was nuts. And they were all the fans.
Was that the boy they were all wanting ready?
Yeah, he owned. Him and his dad owned 90% of Blackpool.
Estate agents, wouldn't they?
But he didn't give a shit. The fans used to say, "Oh, we pay their wages," but he used to go, "No, you don't pay their wages. I pay them." Which he did basically, because every season book at Blackpool's the same. It's like 250 quid. There's no ones at 500. And
it's all the same. It's all the same.
So he basically said, "I pay their wage, no you." But that game, all the fans had said they were bringing tangerines and whatever to throw into the park. So the chairman thought it was funny to bring his tennis rackets with his son in the director's box, and they were hitting tennis balls and that back to each other. So that was riling the fan zone as well. But during the game, Fergie was shouting to us, bring somebody on. At that time it wasn't the Dobbs, it was somebody else. And so the boy was out warming up, and Fergie came out the sideline. He's like, "Right, bring him on, do this." So we done it. Then two minutes later, one of the boys got injured. So Dobbs he got shouted on to get warmed up, and he was going on, and then somebody else gets injured. So Fergie's like, just made a decision. So I've said, right, we need to put another sub on before the one that Dobbs was going on for. So all you see is his strip just landing. But I've been after trying to tell the boys to go that he's going on. The strip just landed at my feet. So I just seen red mist. And that's when obviously I went for him. But
did you go for him?
It was live on telly.
But it's the thing, that's what after that I felt shit, because obviously I grew up with Dobbs and he was one of my pals. So you're helping coach a team at that point, and at Blackpool we were struggling for points and we were trying to stay up in the Championship. But to be fair to him, it didn't bother him. I came in after the game and apologised to all the players for what had happened, and we had a laugh and a joke about it. The next week we went to Wigan, and beat them 2-0, and that basically kept us up.
Right.
So, and he scored 2 of the goals.
Oh, there you go.
Well, it did
Aye.
wake him up when.
It did wake him up. What about Kelty Hearts, Bob? Did you enjoy Kelty? They've got quite a big support.
At that level,
Aye.
loved it. Great club, great fans, to be fair, great committee, everything about the club. I think they've only been maybe, I know they've been going for a long time, but maybe only the last so many years of kind of kicked on, and they were amateur and then went junior, and then they've worked their way through the junior leagues and then also into the loan league.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some support, they know.
They've done really well because it's a local club, and round about there they've got
It's like a community type.
and it's weird because even if Kelty are playing at home and Dunfermline and Cowdenbeath are playing away, their fans will come and watch Kelty.
Right,
So
okay.
it's weird, but nothing bad to say about Kelty. It's a great club.
I remember when you went, and me Barry telling us that when he turned up at the front door at the stand when he signed, there were about 500 or 600 fans. Yeah,
Is that right?
and he couldn't believe it. A lot of people had never heard of Kelty if you weren't a Fifer, you know. He said it was mad for that size of club, but they're getting bigger, aren't they?
Aye, they're getting bigger. They've got their own wee fan base that sing all their songs now. So they're all young kids. They're only like 12 to 15, so they go nuts. And to be fair, they create a great atmosphere. I was at the game, they won the league a couple of weeks ago, and it was a great atmosphere.
And the goalie says the hospitality is good.
Fucking, that's another thing about him. The goalie came to one of the games and he went through with a boy and he had hospitality and stuff. But I don't know if you've seen the thing when the press, BBC, during the week there, Ian, the chairman, so obviously he's found out the goalie's in. And what they do care is it's like, remember the old dinner tickets you used to get?
Right.
So that's what they'll give you for the drinks.
Right, aye.
So if you're in hospitality, or you get, what is it, stovies or something at half time, but you get a strip of tickets.
Tickets.
And
That's what you spend at the bar. So you just basically want that to goal here, you just take that and give them basically the full roll. But that wasn't good enough for him. He came down to the coach's room, came in, started drinking the red wine in the room, and ends up leaving with 2 bottles, and you're like, okay. Some man.
There is a wee question here just before we move on. Gordon Johnson, what's he put? Should we play the young guns and guys like Davis at St Mirren, young Lowry, McCann and King, etc.?
I think they've had opportunities to come in and press. Lowry's definitely impressed. I like the look of McCann. I've not really seen much of Leon King. I know he came on a couple of games and he's done well. Listen, it's hard to know. Do you want to throw a kid into this when if it doesn't go well?
Pressure.
Then,
I know there's a lot of pressure in it.
I've got a lot of games to play.
I know.
I mean, a lot of people are saying they know the league's away, which basically it's not looking great. But do you want to go and play Celtic another time and play them in the cup and we've gave up the new? We can't do that.
No, you can never give up because obviously it's happened in the past that we've been behind and end up with winning the league. So you can never give up. Still got to play them once, and they can still have slip ups as well. But I think you can at some point throw them in. But I don't know if it's right to do it now.
No.
I know back in the day that people say, "Oh, you got to get through in young," but it was different back then. It was we trained every day with the first team, and we used to change in the same bit as them, so we were close to them. These boys will probably just come in and not even get changed next to the first team. They'll change at their own bit and then come up and train when they're going out to the training pitch. So,
Especially now with COVID and all that, and everything that's went on, they're not getting the same opportunities, aren't they? Not to get to see.
I think that's a whole thing that's right through football. The kids in the first team don't. I know that when Gerrard came, he put that big blue thing round about the training ground. Why the kids don't see the first team? What if they got to inspire it? They don't see them training.
No.
So
See another one there is Walter Tallis. He's saying, did you win anything other than
With any other team.
any other team after Rangers?
I won a promotion to the Premier League with Derby through the
So you
playoffs.
did, aye.
I qualified for Europe in Motherwell. Their first, well, I don't think it was their first time in Europe, but under Mark McGee, we got into Europe. I think we finished third in the league that year. Going into the qualifying stage of the Europa League, so that was a big king for them.
Brilliant. Well, Ricki, we're going to go to yourself now.
Aye.
Good.
Right. You've got ERSA coming up. Anybody watching there, Ricky's the Vice President of the ERSA, which is the European Rangers Supporters Association. And in September this year, this is going to be the convention on the 22nd of September, the weekend of the 22nd.
Yep.
So a wee couple of things have changed, if you want to let the fans know.
Aye, well, as you know, Stan, you've been helping us out, and we had to do a wee jolly. Well, not a jolly, it was a research thing over in December to check out the venues and things like that. But unfortunately, the main venue that we were going to carve it in was in the big hotel, but just due to various reasons and sales for the hotel don't actually want us to hold that event in there now, which you can understand, because there'd be like 2,000 Rangers fans coming from Benidorm into this nice big 5-star hotel, and they just really don't want it, But we've now managed to get the Benidorm Palace, and it's going to be a lot more affordable as well now. It's only going to work out, I think it's €25 for the actual big party on the Sunday. It's either 25 or €30, and that's going to be on the Sunday. But we're going to have like a meet and greet on the Thursday. We're going to have a Q&A on the Friday.
That's right.
We've got on the Saturday again. Is that when we're doing the Legends? We're trying to get the Legends game as well. But it's been harder than we thought to get it organised over there as well. Even trying to get a football game. The local mayor wants to get involved. The police want to get involved and all that. So we were just thinking about, you go over, book a park and that's you. But it's not like that over there.
I know the trouble we've had trying to get them, but I think that's a great venue, the Benidorm Palace. Have you ever been in there?
No, I've never even been to
They
Benidorm.
put some fantastic shows on, and it really, really cracking big venue. And it holds 2,000. So I think it'll be a good one.
Well, when we were going to obviously try and get as many of the legends over, but we're going to get the Barca Bears over as well for the big main night on the Sunday. Plus we've got the lovely Lynsey coming to sing a few songs.
Lisa Williamson. We've got 2 singers now.
Lisa as well.
And I think the plans are, Ricki, if I'm right, we're going to have Lynsey in the Ibrox bar, and I think we're going to use a Humber Pilot too, and we're going to have Lisa Williamson in there. Mm-hmm. And then what we'll do is we'll swap the legends with the Barca Bears and do wee Q&As with them.
That would be brilliant.
And we were saying that to Lynsey earlier on, she'll have a Saturday night off, so she's quite happy with that.
Saying that, she might end up getting a gig out there. You never know. But no, I think if anything, it's actually probably worked out a bit better now, because I think at first when the prices went out, personally I thought it was a bit too expensive to stay in that hotel and things like that. So now you can basically book your own hotel, and then you can actually just pay for the events.
Aye, and that'll be coming up soon, won't it?
Aye, so we're going to put it on the website very soon. We're just waiting and contracts getting signed and things like that, but it just means that because we're going to some people want to go and do the wine tour, not the Buckfast wine tour, but the Spanish wine,
That's good that the goalie's injured then,
I know, we're not beginning him any drink tokens anyway. But we're also, there's a golf day getting organised as well. So Campbell, that had been helping us out, he's still going to run the golf day.
Yeah, I think me and Bob will play that.
Aye, some golf course.
Am I invited?
Aye.
Aye, so you'd like it, Bob. It's beautiful, the course.
It's cracking. Different class.
But it's going to have an amazing time, and that's what I'm saying. It sounds like it's a bit more affordable. What we're going to do, but I think we've got about between 200 and 300 members in ERSA now. So obviously we're trying to grow that, and trying to get more European kind of Rangers supporters clubs involved as well. So what we'll do is we'll email all the members first and basically give them a link to buy tickets, and then a couple of hours later it'll be open for the general public.
And I would urge everybody. I think it's only £10 to join, isn't it?
Aye,
and that's you a member of the ERSA, and you get a lot of things. They'll be doing things there. If you're a member, you'll get access to other things. And I would advise you, if you can, go into the ERSA. They're the website up there. If you can go into that, it's only £10.
I mean, personally, I've been to ERSA like twice. I've been to South Africa. I've been to Phuket as well, and I just can't believe that Europe haven't got their own. You've got NASA and then you've got ERSA, and Europe haven't got anything. So this is our 4th year running. Obviously, because of COVID, we had a break there. So hopefully this one will be a good one.
And it's strange because I've done a wee Zoom with Ricki in the committee. When was that? Last Thursday or something?
Aye.
And there's a guy for Germany there and a guy for Greece there talking about organising a thing in the big Rangers clubs, Bob. You know what I mean? It just shows you how big we are and how big we are in Europe.
Aye, we've got boys from Sweden, Tommy, he's from Sweden as well. You've not met Tommy yet, so
no.
We've got people all around, but there's more and more people, and then obviously big gorgeous Georges from Greece, He knows how to hold a meeting, doesn't he?
Oh, aye.
But aye, so he's it was basically his thinking originally. Well, between me and him, it was us that wanted to start the European Rangers thing, you know. But he is the president. He likes all his titles and that, you know.
Yeah, and he likes the big cigars and all that.
I woke up after Zante and I was told I was vice president.
But I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be fantastic. And we've got the Friday night here, as I say, with Lynsey singing and Lisa, and you can swap about the 2 bars and all that. And that'll be a great Friday.
We've got Stuart's bar as well. What's Stuart's bar called? Is that the Tartan bar?
I think we're going to do that on the Thursday, aren't we?
So that'll be the kind of meet and greet. Remember Lynsey got he got a flag made for Stuart at Tartan Arm, and he spelt tartan wrong. And he's huge.
Tarten.
And it was massive. I don't think I've seen a flag this big.
Oh God.
Anyway, so it's we're going to update the website over the next couple of days because it's still actually advertising the old hotel just now. But if you have booked that hotel and if you do want a refund, like if you want to stay in Benidorm, and you'll get a full refund. I would still personally stay in that hotel and just head down, you know. Keep me away for the main drag every night.
I've never been, so I wouldn't know where's where. So
It's someplace.
Do you know,
I'll be needing a tour guide.
when we went, Campbell took us into Old Town Benidorm, and even that's beautiful. We went for the tapas down in Tapas Alley. Oh, it was just
different
bits.
class.
Normally, when you go to Benidorm, it's a stag do or a hen do, and I think we've seen bits of Benidorm that we probably wouldn't have seen before.
Wouldn't have seen.
No, it was great.
You're selling it to me, Ricky.
No, it is. You'll enjoy it. You will enjoy it. You've been, Bobby.
I've never been.
Have you not?
No, neither have I.
A lot of people say it's Blackpool in the sun, but no. But the one thing when you're saying Blackpool in the sun is there's always something to do in Benidorm. You walk down that front and there's live shows on and singers and.
That's right. I just remember what happened in the Beach Us.
What?
Remember? There's a wee accordion player come up and seen us with Rangers trucks on, and the next minute he came down and starts playing all the Rangers tunes.
Oh, did he?
And we're like, where's Stan? Right? And Stan's like, hold on, I've got my flute in my pocket. I mean, who carries a flute about in Benidorm?
Stan.
It was just in case somebody asked me.
They done a wee duet, but it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh, aye, that's right, brilliant.
Stan, what other events have you got
Right,
coming off?
we've got one's coming up here. I'm going over to Belfast Friday. Ollie Johnson, Colin Steen, Al McDonald and Derek Johnston. We're doing Sandy Row on the Friday night for Warren. Mm-hmm. We're going to East Belfast on the Saturday through the day. We've got the Cup Winners' Cupways. So we're going to bring in a couple of the boozers that I drink in our Bob that you know. See the boys there, get the cup with the players and get some photographs in. The boys for Garver will be picking us up, taking us to Garver. We're spending Saturday night in Garver, and then Sunday will be Big D Mac and Carrickfergus Rangers.
Right.
So I think that there's no a lot of tickets, but I think if you contacted any of the clubs, there's 2 or 3 tickets here or there. I'm really looking forward to it, and Bob's knows the 4 guys I'm talking about, the Barca Bears, 4 real legends, isn't they? And they're good company.
You better take your wallet, Big DJ's gone.
I'm in his Prosecco and a wee touch of orange juice.
Orange juice, Prosecco.
I was in Blackpool with him, was that a couple of weeks ago?
Aye, that's right. It was a good wee night, actually, wasn't it?
Aye.
Enjoyed
He was up singing and everything, wasn't he?
Aye, he
Dancing.
was. He always says to me, Lynsey, watch what you're singing, right? And then I watch what I'm singing, and then the next minute I sing what I want to sing, and he's up the first on the dance floor.
Aye, and then he's shouting up for what songs he's won.
Aye. Oh, he's hilarious, so he is.
He's such a nice guy. I mean, when you had COVID, Stan, and you couldn't make it, so I had to fill in for you for the gig down in Gallant.
Aye, the Gallant Pioneer.
And we goes into the Mornington, and Kay, she was like, there's your key for your room. And we Tonto, he's like, right, where's my key? DJ's like, where's my key? He says, is Stan not told you you're staying in a family room?
I was there that weekend, right?
And we were like, aye, right, so over here. And we were, and do you know,
funny.
the pair of them didn't even care, you know. It was, we had a brilliant night. Not in that bedroom, I mean, we just had a brilliant night.
As I say, I'm
didn't even stay in it.
in Sandy Row on Friday, and the last time I went, I got Warren to book us into the hostel. No, the one across for the
I've stayed
Royal.
in there, it was good. Breakfast
And,
unbelievable.
the breakfast is good, but you didn't have any tails in the river there. And the Darcy Knox and me, Wally Henderson, me Durant in there came down. What's happening here? No, I'm looking forward to it. It doesn't happen enough, and Bob will tell you that. We go to the water quite a lot, and the players should go a lot more. And the support that Rangers have got in Northern Ireland is unbelievable. That's why I love going there and seeing all the young boys meeting legends are there and whatever. Me and Bob usually go out to hit the big drum and the flute and that sometimes.
I chucked that.
You did that. But we've got that coming up, and next Friday, I think you've been in, Bob, haven't you, the Gartcraig pub? I've got Bobby Tate and Bomber, and that wee Derek Ferguson's own. It was a good night in there.
Aye, it's brilliant. Big Tam. He'll look after his hospitality. It's brilliant. You maybe need to put earmuffs on, but because the big man's and he whispers he's
Have you met him yet?
1,000 decibels.
Oh, Tam, aye. He's one of our sponsors, the Gartcraig. He sits hand me at Ibrox. Great big guy.
Who's that?
Big
Tam
Tam.
Martin.
Right.
He sits behind me at Ibrox. He's got a table of 4 there, but as Bob says, you'll hear him
Before you see him.
when you-
Some size. What height is he about, by the way?
Oh, he must be about 6'4", Easy.
Age?
He's mental.
So I met him at your birthday party.
Aye.
He's some guy, he's a nice
Some man.
guy.
Brilliant. So we're looking forward to that. And then Saturday the 16th, in the Blantyre Vicks, it's my own gig. I've got John Gregg, Willie Johnston and Colin Steen, and we'll be taking the Cup Winners' Cup down there and all. And one of the ones in Blantyre, celebrate the 50th year of the
Brilliant.
Larka Bears. What about yourself, Lindsay, what you got on?
This weekend I'm heading to my caravan, and then the following Saturday night I'm singing at the caravan. So my dad's got me booked for Easter Saturday.
Okay, we're running out of time here. So a wee quick
I know,
one.
right.
A wee quick one for Braga Thursday. What's your predictions?
I'd take a draw right now to bring it back to Ibrox. 1 each.
Ricky?
I'm going to go 2-0 Rangers. I'm going to be positive.
I'll do the 1-0 Rangers.
Aye. I think we'll lose a goal.
Aye.
But I'm hoping we get one back over there. I don't think the away thing counts now, does it?
No, there's no away goals.
No. Aye,
No.
well, if we come back there with a 1-0 defeat even, going to Ibrox,
No, we need to win.
you think so?
Confidence wise.
Aye. Well, I mean, it's a hard one to come back from. You'll know you've played them. Is it a hard one to come back after a defeat at Celtic if you just got to roll your sleeves up
No, I think it's the best thing for the boys to have got a game straight away.
And just get right
look
in.
forward to, aye.
Get right into it.
It'll
be hurting.
be harder for them after Thursday to come back and play on the Sunday, obviously, but they've got to just put that out of their mind at the minute and go for this game.
And you're hoping guys like we were talking about there, like McGregor and Stephen Davis picks them up and says, look, come on, and pulls them out of the line here.
I think that's what you've got. They've got lots of experience
Aye.
over the last 4 years, so they need to stick together.
We've been doing good in Europe though. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not domestically that's the problem.
I think
It's-
Europe, it's because teams actually come
play
to play
different.
football.
Aye,
you
they
know.
play different, they
They
don't
want to
sit
win.
back.
Aye. We just can't break teams down in Scotland, you know.
And even when you look, I mean, we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, when you look at that result, we go to Dortmund there, the 2 legs. I mean, we're punching above our weight with a lot of these teams. We shouldn't be beating teams like Dortmund, really. We shouldn't. Because of the league we're in, you know, and the quality of players they've got. But we've come through that and we've come through Red Star too, which was 2 hard ties. But what I don't want to do is see people with complacency thinking, oh, it's Braga, they were the, you know what I mean? You don't want that to
because
sneak in.
no,
That was 2
definitely
years ago, wasn't it?
Well, you know the Friday games at Ibrox the last time, so if they can produce that form again, then
Aye.
you never know.
Aye.
So, Bob,
But we'll see if we can pick a wee winner for this wee prize then. So, Bob, has there been any questions that stood out to you in the last hour? I know it's hard to think back. Ricki does kind of scroll back and forward.
I think Bim McSkimmins has got 2 in.
Aye, has. I think. No, it's your call.
I think that's a good question, that with the young guns. Is it Gordon Johnson?
I should maybe bring them in.
Bring them in.
Aye.
I think that's interesting, obviously, because it's the future of the club, but I don't think it's the right time to bring them in at the minute.
But it was still good to
I think
ask that
if you've got games like where you're winning 2 and 3 now, then you can put them in. But to start them and ask them to go and do a job is
There you
difficult.
go. Right, Gordon, you're the winner.
So, Gordon, if you contact us, and we'll get that wee
Prize to
present
you.
sent after you.
Yep, and remember, guys, if you want to see more giveaways on the show, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share and comment across all of our social media platforms, because the more interaction that we get with you guys coming on the show and getting involved with us, the more prizes that we'll get and we can give away on the night. So that's after 8 o'clock, will we call it a night at that? So remember, get involved, subscribe, like our Twitter, Facebook and Instagram pages, follow We Will Legends Podcast. A huge thank yous to our guests this evening, Bob and Ricki. Thanks for coming on. It's been fantastic speaking with you both, and thanks again for entertaining our viewers. And also thanks to Ricki, who normally works behind the scenes anyway, but he's working in front of the scenes today.
Yep.
Thanks for all your hard work and everything you do for us. It is really appreciated. So it's been another enjoyable evening, Stan, and we look forward to seeing you all tune in again in 2 weeks with another amazing guest who'll be joining us, and the details will be posted a wee bit nearer the future. Is that not our... Maybe we've got one more to do.
This is the last one.
So
Next one.
a fortnight's time will be our last one, and then we'll be having a wee break, guys, when the season finishes. So we'll keep you
start back
posted.
fresh for the season.
Yep, and we'll keep you posted on what's happening. So from here, follow We Will. Good night and God bless.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.